It's no secret, Tom Cruise is one of the only few movie stars left. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying the dude has charisma and balls of steel. Yeah, he's had his downfalls, even to the point where I question the man, but in the end, he always manages to win me back. Even though I still see Cruise in the parts he plays more than the character, it doesn't change the fact that when given a great script and a great director, as well as some good actors to work with, he can show some range, which brings me to Michael Mann's classic Collateral. Released in September 2004, Collateral tells the story of cab driver Max, played by Jamie Foxx, working his usual depressing long shift, but little does he know that his night is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Working the late night shift, a mysterious man named Vincent, played by Tom Cruise, ends up being Max's next fare. He offers Max a nice little payment if he can drive him to 5 stops across LA in one night. Later at the first stop, a fat Angelo gives Max's cab a nice makeover. Max finds out Vincent is a deadly assassin whose 5 stops are his targets. And now Max has no choice but to comply, but will he finally grow some balls and stop Vincent before it's too late? The two lead actors do a great job opposite each other and provide some good chemistry. Tom Cruise is on chilling form as Vincent, dominating every scene, showing little to no empathy towards his victims, methodical, professional, efficient, lethal and manipulative, laying on the charm when he needs to, while still coming across like an alien who's learned to mimic human behaviour. And the fact that he's constantly drenched in grey from his hair to his clothes symbolises even further his lack of humanity. Yet you can't help but see why. His speech of a guy dying on the M train with no one noticing for hours does provide some insight into his character, while also proving to be a clever setup that later pays off very well. Jamie Foxx as Max provides a great contrast. He's a decent hard-working man, kind, humane, but is also passive, weary, depressed, playing it safe and full of regrets. But he is sympathetic and he does act how a real man would in that situation. But it's after Vincent calls him out on his failings that he decides to take action, even at the cost of his life. And for a guy who comes across as both suave and charming in real life, he really sells it here, playing against type. After films like Heat, it's obvious director Michael Mann knows how to shoot dark, gritty, noirish thrillers that genuinely feel realistic. And just like Heat, he always seems to make the grimy nightlife of LA look almost euphoric. But despite the majority of the film revolving around two characters in a cab talking, Mann still manages to provide some tension. And with the long, overhead shots in a large crowded city like LA, the social alienation of these two men becomes more apparent thanks to the chemistry of Cruise and Foxx, Stuart Beattie's script and Michael Mann's direction. Also, I like how the cab is a reflection on Max's character. Damaged when he finds out who Vincent is, to totally fucked up after standing up to him. If I had to complain, the scenes with the police and the FBI are less interesting, and Jada Pinkett's involvement does provide some distracting coincidences. Also, there have been some people complaining about the final shootout between Max and Vincent, but I'll let a certain toxic lord explain that from Stupenzo's stream, as he explains it better than I could. The timestamp and link is in the description below. Pretty cool stuff, so please check it out. Speaking of shootouts, they're fucking awesome, and Michael Mann once again brings that same realistic feel like he did in Heat. With every actor looking like they've been using firearms their whole lives, especially Tom Cruise, the man has practically led me to believe he's a secret hitman. Even gun experts are praising his reloading technique whenever they teach their students. It's a beautifully shot, violent, gritty action thriller with some dark laughs, adding levity to the grimness, and it's one I definitely recommend. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like and subscribe. But right now, that's me done, and I'm off to the pub.